Hello, walkers, and welcome to Lindley Park in Bozeman, Montana. It is cold today, and I hope you're warm, but I'm out, and it is -9 degrees Fahrenheit out. I think that's -23 degrees Celsius. My name is Henry, and I am your proxy walker, your virtual travel guide today, as we take a quieter Bozeman walk. I just finished one down and around downtown area in this cold weather. It's a little surprising. I mentioned this in the other walk. It's so cold, usually gets pretty clear. The air just can't hold the moisture. But it's snowing today. Not too hard, but steady and nice. And I'm going to try and keep the screen or the lens clear today. We're starting at Lindley Park. If you look that way, that's Main Street coming down the hill into downtown. So we're looking north in that direction. And we're actually going to end up coming back through those trees. But for now, I thought I might start through Sunset Hills Cemetery. And I'm just going to give the quick introduction, and then just out of respect and that sort of thing, I'm probably not going to say much in the cemetery itself. And it's a nice, quiet, peaceful place, and I kind of think that it should stay that way. So leave us a comment if you have any comments. I love hearing your stories. I really do. I've had an issue recently with being able to see some of the comments that get put for whatever reason into the held for review tab. YouTube just isn't, that tech part of it is not working properly for me, and I've reached out, and hopefully they're going to address that, because I don't want you guys to have to wait 3 weeks to get a reply to your comments. And I do read all your comments and try to reply to them all the ones that I see. And that's kind of part of having a community, is a prompt reply. Anyway, I love hearing your stories, love getting your feedback. Even if it's criticism, I will say that I would appreciate it if you would keep it respectful and constructive. Telling me that I need to learn how to talk is not going to be well received, but I'm trying to be a better YouTuber and respond with understanding and kindness to those, even those. So, but that's really rare actually, which, given what we know about the internet, I'm a little surprised, pleasantly surprised by that. Anyway, subscribe, like the video if you do like the video, and that sort of thing. Check us out on social media too. I've been posting some stuff, not a lot, but once or twice a week, to citywalks_virtual travel in Instagram, and then Walks City on Twitter, and Facebook I think is just City Walks, but you can search for City Walks and all of those, and if you see my little circle icon with a shoe in the middle, that's me. We're going to go into Sunset Hill Cemetery, as I mentioned. It's beautiful here in this quiet, snowy day. It is very cold, and I think we're just going to walk for a little bit. So we'll take it easy, be quiet, and have some nice, slow TV. That's a plow going by. Okay, we're going to leave the cemetery now. And where dogs are prohibited, I'm going to show you the sign real quick, which is to be expected. I don't think that's unreasonable. We're going to go out here to Pete's Hill. It's got another name for the park. I don't know what it is. I've just always called it Pete's Hill. Some interesting artwork that I haven't noticed before. And we're going to go out and do a sort of an out and back. This is an off-leash dog park. So you can let your dogs run as long as you maintain verbal control. One thing I didn't mention early on is that the batteries on my Zoom H1N audio recorder, in the last walk they died at the end. And may do so again. I've repositioned it so it's hopefully going to stay a little warmer, but the cold really takes its toll on those batteries. So luckily it's not too windy, and the GoPro audio should be pretty good. I love these giant spruce trees, obviously benefiting from sprinklers and irrigation. And you can look out over Bozeman, what you can see through the snow. Quiet and cold. This is a nice place to come up, and a lot of people come up here to run, walk their dogs obviously, and to just get their blood moving. Some great views of the mountains, great views of the city. We'll also get a view of the hospital off to the left, which is, with the growth in the city, has been in a seemingly constant state of upgrade and building and expansion. It's a pretty nice hospital. Unfortunately, I've had reason to be in there quite a bit over the last 20 years. Not for myself so much. There's also a retirement community that I think is affiliated with Bozeman Deaconess, with some pretty nice retirement houses, and I guess that's what you describe it as. It's independent living. You buy the house, I believe, and they're really nice, beautiful views up here. And also off to the left is a place, it's basically part of Lindley Park, and they groom ski trails for cross-country skiing. So a lot of skiers will come out there and get their exercise. Although there looks like they are going to develop a lot of that area. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen to the skiing sections. Hopefully they'll be able to maintain that. It's nice to have that right here in town. Little lens check there. See a lot of sagebrush, that's what this is up here. Little view of the town. I believe that steam plume, if you can see that, is at the university, their power plant. And over there is the hospital. And beyond that is I-90. See some, I think it's Story Hills out there maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. And then up ahead, straight, that large apartment building is part part of the retirement community, and then they built in houses behind that. And this trail actually goes up all the way to those power lines, if you can see those ahead, and then down, and then it'll run into Kagi, I believe is the street there. And if you go straight out this street, which is basically Church Street, you'll get to Triple Tree Ranch, which we've done a couple of walks at, and some other trailheads, including Sourdough, which I should do. I haven't done that yet. Sourdough will go all the way up to the reservoir, about 10 miles up. It's an old road. Gets a lot of use, and I don't think there's a great parking situation there. At least there used to be pretty bad. They probably have expanded it since then. There's a little bit of a breeze in it. -9 degrees. It stings. And so this is the hospital connector trail. The trail goes all the way over to the hospital, which is nice and convenient for people that work there or people that need to visit. I think Bozeman has made a lot of strides to become more pedestrian friendly and more bike friendly. And honestly, there's no reason a town this size shouldn't be. Most things are reachable by bicycle or by foot, and you don't need to take a car everywhere you go here if you don't want to. I keep having to put my neck gaiter up over my face just to get a little warm. Looking like this cloud cover isn't that high. Almost get a hint of blue sky above us. It's nice to have it all pretty much to myself today. I do see one individual with their dogs up ahead, but they're probably 1/8 of a mile ahead of me. There's more than one trail up here, so we'll hit that on the way back. But I think they're less stomped out and maybe a little bit more difficult to find. In fact, judging by this stuff on the ground, I'm not even sure I'm on the main trail. Maybe that's just been torn up somewhere else. You get enough traffic up here that you want to make sure you don't go off trail too much, because then the whole area gets torn up and there's really no need to go off trail in most instances. Let's do a lens check here. Looks fairly clear. I did a walk at Sage Lodge the other day in Paradise Valley, and didn't notice that Had some snow on the lens for a chunk of it. And not the end of the world, but I do like to make these as good as I can for you guys. It's such a different experience when you can't see the mountains around, when the world is so closed in that you don't know how to fill in the gray areas. Not bad, just different. Interesting how the same place can look very different at different times. How much context matters. Lots of lots of these dog stations where you can get your bags to clean up after your dog and places to leave it, which is nice. Here are some of those houses. You can see they're all very modern, very nicely designed. And used to be fields, which to me is preferred, but if they're going to build, which, I mean, they needed to, it's open space in town, and I'm glad they chose to make these nice, clean, simple designs. Hopefully they'll age well. I see some ski tracks around as well. I don't know how it looks on the camera, but it's actually really bright out here with the snow, or the snowy sections. It's hard to even see any texture or contour. The light is so flat. I think we're going to go out here and just take a look before we turn around and get a different perspective as we head back. Excuse me. So down there, I also did a walk along the Galligator Trail, which goes, if you can see the power lines, but over on the other side of those ball fields, I think. You can just barely make out the football stadium. Don't get me started on that. And then down that way south is the Triple Tree Trail, Sourdough, etc. And we're going to pan slowly back down there. That's a truck driving along, I think it's Church down there. And then that's where we're going to be going back towards. We'll head back that way now. And we'll maybe take one of these other side trails. Here's some of those signs asking you to stay on the trail. Even more important during summer, when now the snow, I think, protects the ground to an extent. Whoops, getting a little slippery. We'll take this left side here. You can hear how cold it is by the squeak of that snow. It's so fine-grained and dry. You wouldn't think of snow as being dry, but when it gets this cold, it is. Pardon me as I try to adjust my neck gaiter, which is half frozen. And we'll do the best we can with what we got. I keep checking the lens. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do if it does get wet and snowy. Snow's picking up. It's going to be an interesting drive home, back over the pass. Several of these benches as well, which are nice. Come up here and take a break. Enjoy the sunset or the light hitting the town as it comes up behind you. Beautiful winter wonderland today. Here's another walker. Oh, he's going to head down the hill, looks like. Or maybe they're just making room on the trail. This side trail is definitely not stomped down. Big line of geese coming over. Canada's just by the sound of them. I'm following in someone's ski tracks, cross-country ski tracks. Much better way of getting through the steeper stuff. Make my way back to the main trail up here. There's a happy dog. Probably confused about the whole camera situation. Hey there, pup. Hi. Little pointer. Happy to be outside. Hi there. Hi, pup. How you doing? Yeah. Hi there. Dog wasn't sure what to make of this camera. It is a little funny looking on the end of this spring-loaded arm. Off to the right is a cemetery again. We're not going to go back through that way. We're going to continue on through Pete's Hill Park here. It's actually a different name, like Bozeman Hill Park or something. Land. But locals, I think, know it as Pete's Hill. Wow, I've been walking, this is my second walk, and this external battery I'm using, the Milady, M-L-A-D-Y, I think, has just lost one of 4 bars, or capacity indicators. It's pretty impressive in this weather. if you look straight down the trail, and there's a road that crosses Main Street. I believe that's Wallace. Off to the left, you can see a stage in the distance, orange color. It's in, I think that's Burke Park. I used to know all these names, but I'm sort of second guessing myself today. Trying not to make an error. So if I did make an error, point it out in the comments of the YouTube channel. I welcome corrections, making sure we get the best info out there to you guys. It's an intrepid jogger. We're going to drop down this hill and go through the woods of Lindley Park, which is a nice, cool, shaded place to go in the summer if you're looking for something to do in Bozeman. I also kind of want to check out this art installation. If you're interested, this is where we came out of the of Summit Hills, Sunset Hills Cemetery. Off to the left here, I'm just going to show you right quick, is often used as a sledding hill. Brokeback Hill. There's some name they came up with, somebody came up with, indicating how icy and how painful it can be once it's been used a lot. Let's go over here and see this real quick. Pretty. Evocative of a canoe, maybe? Or the moon? I don't know. Interesting. Along Wallace there, to the right actually of Wallace, with a slanted roof, which has a bunch of snow-covered solar panels, is the library. It's that like LEED silver, LEED gold certified building. Pretty neat. I've talked about that in other Bozeman walks. This is, I guess, part of the Main Street to the Mountains network of trails. And then a sign here reminding people to slow down as if they're on their bike coming down this hill, because there are pedestrians, and I think there's an organization called Gallatin Valley Land Trust, and they take care of and maintain and promote a lot of these trails, put up signages and those dog stations we saw earlier, and basically maintain these as a benefit to the community, which is super cool. Kudos to them, and thank you. Speaking back to the battery, it's interesting, this battery's plugged into the GoPro, and the GoPro started off at 94%, and it's down to 91, so this cold weather is trying to sap the battery strength, but it just can't do it. I can tell you though, the battery would have exhausted long ago if it was just the GoPro battery. They make great products, but they can only pack so much energy into those little cameras. And in normal situations it's fine. But on a day like this, or with these long walks, I find it's pretty important to have these external batteries to plug in. And Is nice that the GoPro can be plugged in and record while it's being charged. That's a big benefit. Let me check the lens. We're good? All right. Now we have, I believe, gone past the end of the cemetery, and off to the right is just Lindley Park. Could be wrong about that. But you can see all these giant spruce trees, big, broad branches. In the summer, it's a nice place to come to get out of the sun. Oh, nope, I made that up. Not about the spruce trees, but about the cemetery. It's still off to the right there a little bit, but not much further. Yeah, here we go. And this goes down to the library off to the left here, and also Main Street. I'm going to cut right, because that is the direction of the car. And honestly, I'm ready to get warm. How about you guys? It's a beautiful, beautiful day out, but it's chilly. I think on my, looks like somebody's been snowboarding or sledding or something there. In my Livingston walk, I was sensationalizing because it looks so much colder to people that use, the very few of us that use the imperial system, to say negative 25, negative 22, I think it was Livingston Celsius. Sorry about that. Couldn't resist. Somebody's snowboarding. Oh, they've set up a sweet little terrain park or something. Maybe we'll get some footage. Sneak up on them. Footage of wild snowboarders. And a happy little dog. Hey there, pup. Yeah. Nice. I could never do that. That's not true. I'm unlikely to succeed at that at the current skill level. Pretty fun though. And right here in town. Well, I guess they're jet going overhead. I don't know if it's really low or if the clouds are magnifying it. Sure sounds low. Could be the microphone too. All right, and headed back down towards Maine here. Let me see, we're at 52 minutes. I want to thank you guys for joining us once again from Bozeman, Montana. Hope you enjoyed this walk. It's a little quieter than normal. I haven't chatted quite as much. Do us a favor. Leave us a comment. Tell us about your Bozeman memories, your personal connections, any kind of interesting stories. Corrections or additional information are always appreciated. And any kind of community interaction is great. For those of you over in the UK and Europe and other places that are in these very strict lockdowns, hang in there. I know that's not tough. I know it's tough and it's not easy. It's isolating and challenging to say the least. But we're thinking about you, and reach out to friends and family and help them, and maybe help you too. And then, but stay safe too. I heard it's negative 22 Celsius in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. So I know you guys are having some pretty severe winter weather. We will see you again soon. I'm going to head out here in a week or so and go down through Wyoming to Colorado and do a bunch of walks down there. I figure we'll branch out beyond Montana a little bit, get some variety going. So keep an eye out for those, and come back next time, see what we're up to. Until then, from Bozeman, Montana, keep on stepping.